We continue our interesting and fun theme, follow us. Rule number 23. Multi-questioning. Ask too many questions. A dialogue built according to all the rules of rhetoric and argumentation usually consists of alternating lines. Moreover, each rejoinder contains only one unit of information, or a call to express this unit of information. Simply put, questions alternate with answers. If you want to find out the truth from your interlocutor, you should structure the dialogue differently. Here's an example of a standard dialogue. Hi, where have you been? At work. What took you so long? The boss delayed me. What's the urgency? Tomorrow is an unexpected conference, guests from abroad, and so on. In this dialogue, everything is logical and consistent. This type of conversation has nothing to do with dialogue manipulation. If, for example, you want to find out the truth, to get your beloved to come clean, you can use the so-called multi-question dialogue. In this dialogue, you are the leader. You set the tone of the conversation. You start asking questions at once and in large numbers, without letting your interlocutor answer any of them. The answerer in such a situation immediately comes to an impasse. This situation reminds him of a school exam and is inevitably accompanied by stress. Such manipulations are very often used by investigators during interrogations. In order to get the suspect out of trouble, they ask the same questions, changing the wording. The interrogated person gets the impression that everything is known about his machinations. He loses confidence and begins to feel helpless. After an abundance of questions, he tells the truth himself. The above dialogue can be reworked into a manipulative technique. Where have you been? What took you so long? How long can I wait for you? What's so urgent that you can't even call and tell me you're going to be late, etc.? Confidence in voice and restraint, in no case raise your voice, can confuse a man, and he may think that you know his deceit, if it is present, of course. But if your beloved is pure before you and he has nothing to reproach, he is unlikely to lose his cool and will answer all your questions in order, like an excellent student who has learnt the lesson well. Rule #24 Mutual exchange of courtesies, quid pro quo. You don't know how to persuade your colleague to help you with your annual report. Or you dream that your acquaintance invites you to a party, which he organizes only for VIP friends, but you don't dare to ask for it. We suggest that you use the quid pro quo manipulation. This is a rather effective way of manipulation. Its essence is the following. You are the first to do a favor, to help, to make a concession to your victim, and after that you ask to do you a small favor. This method works almost without fail. You use human conscience as your assistant. People have a clear mechanism of mutual help and reciprocity. Most people live by the principle, you, me, I, you. By doing a favor, we, firstly, make a man feel at ease, and secondly, we achieve a feeling of unexpressed gratitude. To get what you want from a man, you must make him believe in your unselfishness and sincere desire to help. Here's what it looks like in practice. For example, you want to go to a nightclub with your girlfriend without your lover. When he arrives, prepare a little surprise. Darling, tonight for dinner, your favorite shrimps and a mug of beer for dessert. If you manage to create the conditions for him to have a wonderful evening without you, then he will definitely repay you in gratitude by agreeing to let you go alone. If your friend happens to mention a grandiose party that he is organizing at his house only for a select few, but is in no hurry to invite you, don't be discouraged right away. Make him a gift that he will not be able to refuse. Offer him to go to a concert of his favorite band, a ticket to which you happen to have, and then you will definitely be among the invitees. You can't finish your financial report on time, while your colleague has long since finished his part of the work and is going to spend the whole weekend with friends. Are you jealous but hesitate to ask for help? Before asking him to fulfill your request, treat him to your aromatic tea with his favorite chocolate bar, and over a cup of tea you can share your problems. Another option, present him with some useful thing under the pretext, I have a lot of such a good thing, and you will need it. Remember, as in the film The Most Charming and Attractive, The heroine gives her colleague an eraser soaked in paraffin. A small thing, but nice. After such a gift, your colleague will never refuse to help you. Rule #25 Innocent Blackmail. Tease a man. The blackmail method is best used when all other possible ways have been used and have not brought any results. This method of manipulation consists of the following. You are trying to scare a man, trying to force him to fulfill your request. Otherwise, you promise to do something that he will not tolerate, that he is terribly afraid of, that he dreams in his nightmares. Manipulation will only bear fruit if you know what the man is afraid of. For example, if you don't stop throwing your dirty socks all over the house, I will stop washing them. If you come home from work so late every day, I will go to my mom. If you don't stop drinking, I will leave you. You must understand the danger of this method of manipulation. After all, you cannot scare a man, but on the contrary, to please. Perhaps he is just waiting for you to finally leave him or go to mom, and he will do what he really wants. In addition, there is a danger that manipulative blackmail can be a reason for a serious quarrel. As soon as you feel that you have gone too far and your threats are only annoying the man, you should stop and try to reconcile. If you decide to use this trick, you must be as serious as possible. Do not smile. Speak confidently and decisively. Do everything to make the man believe you. Really scared. Feel in your power. Remember that you must be serious. Otherwise, you will not be believed and you will lose. Your demand and your actions, if not met, should be proportionate. For example, if you want your man to stop being late for dates, you can threaten him that you will become just as forgetful and simply not come next time. Remember also that too often to resort to this method of manipulation is not worth it. If you have never tried to implement your threat, the man will realize that you are just bluffing, that your blackmail is nothing but a desperate attempt to make him dance to your tune. Therefore, this method is best used only in exceptional cases, when other methods do not work. How do you get a man to do what you want him to do? Rule No. 26. How to persuade a man to go to visit your mother? To persuade a man to visit your mother, real or potential mother-in-law, is not an easy task. Historically, the relationship between the parent and the applicant for the hand and heart of the daughter, as a rule, have a slightly strained character. There are, of course, happy exceptions when mother-in-law and son-in-law live soul to soul. If people close to you cannot get in touch, then this chapter is for you. Are your lover's visits to your mom so rare that he still can't remember her name? Does your offer to visit your mom give him the jitters? Is he always looking for an excuse to turn down another date? Use manipulation to persuade your man to pay another visit to your mom. Here are some ways you can do this. Method 1. Slipped my mind. The essence of this method is the following. You inform about the meeting with your parent suddenly, referring to your own forgetfulness. Honey, I'm sorry. I forgot to tell you that today my mom is waiting for us to visit. If your beloved tries to refuse the meeting, say that it is impossible, because your mother has already prepared her signature cake and is waiting for you. If this doesn't work, then think of some imaginary reason for the visit. For example, a visit in honor of a birthday or a promotion. Method 2. Phenomenal forgetfulness. Start preparations for the visit without explanation. When your beloved asks where you are going, reproach him for forgetting. I told you last week that we were going to visit my parents, but you forgot as usual. You know how important this is to me. Method 3. Create sympathy for your mom. In order to make the meeting of your loved ones more desirable, try to arouse their sympathy for each other. How do I do that? Do not recount verbatim your telephone conversations with your mother. Pass on all her reproaches and dissatisfactions. Compliment your lover on her behalf. My mom admired you so much, she thinks I made a good choice. Mom says you are very talented and clever. Mom is sure you will have a good career. Try to persuade your mother to be more welcoming and friendly towards your chosen one. Even if she does not like him in some way, Explain to her that it is your choice and you do not intend to change anything. Persuade her to do something nice for your companion. Let her praise him, cook his favorite dish for dinner, be attentive to him. Then your man will understand that your mother is not such a tyrant and despot as it seemed at first. She, quite a nice person, and treat him with respect. The budding sympathy will make their meetings much more pleasant. Iowa. Rule #27. How to persuade a man to give you an expensive gift. You want to persuade your man to spend a significant amount of money on you, but you don't know where to start. You realize that you should not act directly, as you may encounter a decisive no from his side. But which of the ways of manipulation to use? Which one will be the most effective? In order to achieve the goal, you can use several quite effective techniques of hidden control. Your task: to convince a man that for you the acquisition of this thing is vital, that without it you absolutely cannot do without it. How to convince him of this? Try to use all your acting skills. The success of the whole event will depend on how much you yourself want to buy a new dress or jewelry. You have no time for doubt. Once you are in a jewelry shop, try to sincerely express your admiration for the gorgeous necklace you have been dreaming of for so long. Do not hesitate in expressions. Try to be maximalist. This is exactly what I dreamed of all my conscious life. If I get it, I will be the happiest woman in the world. If your man believes that this purchase is really important to you, he is unlikely to turn you down. Try to confuse the man by misleading him about the amount of money needed. If he asks the salesperson for a price, ask the salesperson not to give it right away. Say that you don't want to be disappointed, but you would still like to try it on. If you wear the jewelry or dress of your dreams, then consider yourself half a winner. There is another important piece of advice. Never warn your man in advance about an upcoming shopping trip or that you want to buy a very expensive item. By warning him in advance about the upcoming expenses, you give him time to think. During this time, he can gather his thoughts, think hard about whether it is worth it to give you such an expensive gift. It is better if you drag your beloved into a fashionable boutique or expensive restaurant completely spontaneously, as if not intending to buy anything. Such spontaneity will be to your advantage. The man simply will not be able to orientate himself, so most likely will fulfill your little whim. Besides, by bringing your beloved to the shop, you get another advantage. You can demonstrate your future purchase. And visualization, as you know, is better than 1,000 words. Your man himself will realize how great your chosen necklace or evening dress looks on you. And perhaps, without even looking at the price, he will give the seller his credit card. Rule #28. How to persuade a man to cook dinner. There is a common misconception among men that only women should cook. Men's concern is to earn more money, and a woman should create all the conditions for this. First of all, to feed her man. The male half of the population is not confused by the fact that women, just like them, work, look after children, if there are any of course, take care of themselves, and have time to clean the house. Men often do not wonder how their beloved has time for everything. If you don't want to turn into a tortured housewife with only housework on her mind, you will have to learn how to exploit your man. If you have no idea how to get your man to help you with the household chores, for example, cooking for you, then this chapter is for you. To begin with, try to convince him that cooking is not a strictly female activity and that many men really like to cook. And in restaurants, the chefs are predominantly male. It is not necessary to state this directly. You can talk about this topic casually, as if not pursuing any goals. During dinner, for example, you can tell your man a story about the wonderful talent of your friend's husband, saying that he cooks so well that it's amazing. Among your favorite shows can be one of the many cooking programs. It is better if its participants will be predominantly men. Preferably, your man should be present when you watch it, and take at least one look at the TV screen. The most important thing is to get the first step from the man. If he picks up a cookery book, he will probably have a desire to surprise you. As they say, it's a long way off. How do you make it happen? Think of an urgent matter that will keep you from coming home for dinner during the week. For example, an emergency at work, a balance sheet, or something else. The first days a man can eat in a cafe, but sooner or later he will get up to the cooker and try to satisfy his need for home food. Perhaps the beginning will not be too masterly. Banal eggs and pasta with sausages. Then he will be interested in the recipe in a cookbook, specially left by you on the table. And who knows, maybe coming home after another hard day's work, you will find on the table a wonderful dinner prepared by your husband's own hands. Another way to make your man get up to the cooker? A sharp deterioration in the quality of your dishes? You, for completely unknown reasons, learn to cook. Everything is burned and salted so that it is absolutely impossible to eat. Having had enough of oversalted soup and burnt cutlets, your man will simply have to pick up a recipe book. There is another fail-safe way to make a man cook. It is known that men are very reverent to pregnant women. Try to please them in everything. So, if your desire to teach your beloved to cook coincides with your joint desire to have a child, then go ahead. Your beloved will be ready to do anything for you and your future child. Thank you, friends, for being with us to learn more helpful strategies on this topic. Subscribe, like, comment, click the bell, and watch our next video.